Alcor is pleased to welcome you all to today's webinar. Alcor is a global cloud advisory and implementation services company serving Fortune 500, government agencies, and other leading organizations in multiple industry verticals across Americas, Canada, and India. Alcor is also a ServiceNow Gold Services and Gold Sales partner. We partner with leading technology companies including AWS, FireEye, Microsoft, Okta, Encorta, and Big Panda. We advise leading businesses on cloud platforms, architecture, enterprise service management, and integrating IT service delivery. We also provide business process consulting to capture, re-engineer, and improve processes that can easily be automated to deliver real value. The Alcor consulting team has excellence in business strategy, cloud technology, and organizational change management. Our ongoing webinar series is designed to inform, enlighten, and start discussions within your own organizations. If you require any additional information after listening to this webinar today, please reach out to us through our website, www.alcortech.com. It's ALCORTECH.com. We have time reserved at the end of the webinar for Q&A, so please feel free to type any questions into the questions section. It's a chat box. Today's webinar topic is ServiceNow London Release Highlights presented by Benjamin Trimmer. Ben is Certified System Administrator, CIS ITSM Certified Solution Architect at Alcor Solutions, who has been working in ServiceNow ecosystem since 2013. He has a comprehensive experience with COTs, software consulting, development, and administration. As a former ServiceNow system administrator for multiple ServiceNow customers, Ben has been involved in numerous upgrades and considered an expert in this field by his peers. I will now turn the webinar over to Ben.
Thank you, Anna, very much for the warm welcome. I sincerely appreciate it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the London Release Highlights webinar. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about who we are. And I had already went over this a little bit, but just a reminder, we are a top 5 ServiceNow Gold Services and Sales partner in both the United States and Canada. We have over 200 clients that have implemented over 400 projects. Because we have a large number of certified consultants, we are able to be very successful in our project delivery, consistently yielding Alcor a customer satisfaction score over 9. We have a wonderful set of customers across many various verticals, ranging anywhere from the public sector to financial, healthcare, retail, high tech, etc. So let's get started. London at a glance. The London version provides upgrades and or new functionality that spans 5 major verticals. Today, we're going to take a closer look at some of the significant enhancements that are provided, including platform updates and new intelligent apps, updates to the IT space, security, human resources, customer service, and performance analytics, which has changes that span all of the verticals. Let's start off with the platform changes, which are pretty significant and exciting. First off, we have the virtual agent. What is ServiceNow's virtual agent? ServiceNow's virtual agent is a conversational bot platform. More specifically, it is a chatbot which simulates the human conversations or messaging interactions a live agent would typically have with a live person. With a virtual agent in place, customers, partners, and employees making requests and inquiries will receive automated responses from a bot instead of from an actual live person. So let's count the number of times I talk about virtual agent today. It's a pretty big upgrade to the system. This is the first time. So let's take a closer look and dive down into the virtual agent experience. Users can use the web-based virtual agent interface on the service portal and Apple iOS and Google Android environments. For example, in the portal, end users would initiate a conversation with the chat interface shown here on the bottom right. The conversational interface captures an automated messaging session between the virtual agent and user. As seen here, a conversation typically includes a default welcome message from the bot, followed by the first prompt for the conversation. The user's response to the bot's initial prompt, a series of prompts and responses between the bot and user, and finally, a closing message to end the conversation. Users can also use the virtual agent interface for third-party messaging apps through ServiceNow integrations for Slack and Microsoft Teams. In this demo, I added the Now virtual agent to my test Slack instance. Just like the service portal widget, a conversation is initiated by the user. In the example here, I knew that the phrase open IT ticket would generate an exact match for a topic. However, I could have typed basically anything and the bot would have responded with a filtered list of topics for me to choose from. The conversation has now begun and the bot is performing the next step in its dialogue flow, which is prompting me for a short description for my issue. I respond with a short description of my choosing. And for this specific flow, the bot performs a smart search of the knowledge base, providing a list of articles that might resolve my issue. It does not, so I click on the No button. The conversation continues between the bot and me as it gathers more information for my incident. The bot then creates an incident for me and provides the incident number. Finally, the bot sends a closing message to end the conversation. Back in the service portal, the user can see the incident that was created by the bot during the conversation held in Slack. Moving on to enhancements to the Flow Designer. But before we get into that, what is ServiceNow Flow Designer? Flow Designer allows process analysts and IT generalists to author codeless workflows using natural language for actions on a ServiceNow instance. Now, this is not new to ServiceNow. This was in prior versions. However, with the London version, flows can now contain subflows. This allows for a more modular approach to be used when developing these flows, keeping the flows simplified. What is the ServiceNow Integration Hub? The Integration Hub is an application that extends Flow Designer to automate third-party services. IT generalists and process analysts can create REST actions and other integration actions through script. Action apps for Slack and Microsoft Teams have also been added. These apps can be downloaded from Slack or Microsoft Teams app stores. The Integration Hub provides spokes and out-of-the-box content for integrating with these collaboration services. This allows communication between the service, Slack or Teams, and ServiceNow, and provides the ability to the user to process requests without having to go into ServiceNow. So as an example of this, in my personal Slack instance, I installed the Now Actions app and attached it to my Alcor test channel. Now in ServiceNow, in the back end, I set up some notification triggers that would send a message, actually the same message, to the channel every time an incident was inserted or updated. These notification triggers can be basically anything that triggers notifications in the prior versions. This just happens to send the notifications over to that the third-party app. So as you can see, the notification that was triggered when the incident was created, as well as when an assignment group was added to it. So in my screen here, you can see the two messages that came from the Now Actions app. And the difference between the two, the first one does not have the assignment group, and the second one has the assignment group of the customer service support. This is just a very basic example of the functionality. So moving on, we have the database encryption. The encryption acts as a gateway between your browser and your ServiceNow instance. The data remains encrypted while in flight to the instance, which means the data continues to be encrypted at rest in the ServiceNow data center. Lastly, at the custom URL, you can now add custom URL or multiple custom URLs through the Now platform to your instance. The caveat is you've got to be the owner of the top level domain. You can't be adding custom URLs for domains that you don't own. That was a lot of enhancements to the platform. Let's now delve into the updates to the IT applications. In the IT service management application, we start off with the new walk-up experience. This new application, this is a new application that automates the process of delivering support at on-site IT service facilities. The application increases customer satisfaction and gives the service desk full visibility into the experience while enabling more efficient demand planning and stock room inventory. In the example here, I've modified the Get Help widget on the service portal with configuration details for the walk-up check-in page. After the user clicks on the link on the portal, the walk-up experience portal is then launched. The first step the end user must complete is the selection of the appropriate location. In the example here, I've selected the San Diego Tech Lounge, and then I clicked on the Submit button. The next step is adding the user to the walk-up queue. The end user enters the employee name. It does not have to be theirs. A reason for the visit, then clicks on the check-in button. This creates an interaction record and informs the user what number they are in the queue. When they are next up in the queue, which is configurable, by the way, they do get a notification, which can be customized. So this is a sample notification that would get sent to the end user when they are next in the queue. If the user no longer has the need, they can click on the abandon link, which will remove them from the queue. For walk-up technicians, the primary list they will work out of is the My Active Walkups list. This displays all of the active interactions in their queue. The technician will open the interaction record displaying the current screen. Selecting the Accept button will assign the record to this technician. If the guest has left the queue, click on the Abandon button. If the interaction is best supported at another walk-up queue, click the Transfer to Queue button. To assign the interaction to another agent, it must be first assigned to yourself. Excuse me. Then click on the Transfer to Agent button. Resolve the interaction by clicking the Close button. If the interaction cannot be resolved, click either the Create Incident or Create Request related link to generate a child record. The associated related lists on the form populate accordingly. So sometimes you might be able to resolve something right away where you don't need to create that incident. Got a general question about something, you can close it right here. But if you do need to go further, you do have the ability to create those child records and see them all part of this interaction. Moving on, we have the next up is the continual improvement management. This is a new application. It enables organizations to discover improvement opportunities, set quantifiable goals, and track progress against those goals, all within ServiceNow's single system of action. Organizations often find that continual improvement is really regulated to theory more than being a practical approach. However, this application provides a simple and efficient approach to drive improvements in line with the business goals. So we have virtual agents, the second time mentioning it. Service Virtual Agent, again, it's the for ITSM. It automates interactions around repetitive tasks and requests without the need to involve the live agent. The demonstration that I showed earlier actually was part of the ITSM. Again, with the virtual agent in place, customers, partners, employees making routine requests and inquiries will receive automated responses from a bot instead of from an actual live person. However, the virtual agent can seamlessly hand off to a live agent as needed. Moving on to Agent Workspace, which is limited availability, so keep that in mind. The new Agent Workspace was created to provide agents with a modern user interface that brings all of the key information together in one place to enable agents to quickly process incidents and service requests. The Agent Workspace gives agents a multi-tab, omni-channel layout with full details on the incident, including user details, asset details, etc. So agents have all of the relevant information to process the request right there in one location. Multiple tabs allow the agents to process multiple incidents at the same time, multiple requests at the same time, combination of an incident or request, or various other tickets. Agent Assist groups contextual information on the incident from various sources, such as the knowledge base, social Q&A, communities, etc., to present it to the agent within the workspace. Again, unfortunately, Agent Workspace will only be available by limited access in the London release. So this is the Agent Workspace home screen. This clean, simplified look allows quick access to multiple features. Selecting the List tab presents a screen that's pretty familiar to the native workspace. The left side displays various list menu items, and selecting a list item will display the list corresponding records in the workspace pane. This is really not much different than your traditional workspace layout. what is in here is just a simplified version of the lists to go through. Now, I didn't have chat configured, so you can see the message if you don't have anything configured there. But by selecting the chat tab, this will list the queues that are available to the current technician. And clicking on the plus button will open up a new chat session. To search for items, type your search criteria in the field next to the magnifying glass. This really hasn't changed much from the other versions. The search results get displayed in a tab inside of the workspace window, and you can see that there's a magnifying glass icon left of the search results word. So for me, I searched for incident 10,001, and it brought me up a few matches. So by clicking on one of the values in the search results, the list will open up that record in a new tab. So tab number 1, you have the search results, and tab number 2, we have incident 10,001. A new look and feel has been given to many of the forms, showing the data across multiple tabs instead of the top-down look that we're accustomed to. Clicking on a reference field icon will display the corresponding record in a new inner tab. So what I mean by that, if you see that the incident 10,001 is highlighted, that has the focus, and right below it we have 2 child tabs. One is details, which is grayed out, and that has the details of the incident itself. And then the second tab, which has the focus, is the PS Linux app 01. So that's what I mean when I talk about inner tabs. If the form has not been configured for a workspace view, like shown here, a message is displayed to the agent informing them of this. Just to note, the data on the form that is displayed is not editable. To be editable, a form must be configured for the workspace. This shows what a requested item record looks like in the new workspace. Note how, again, the record opens up at a new top level tab. So we have the search results in tab 1, the incident form is in tab 2, and the requested item form is in tab 3. So for here, I wanted to show again, when you click on a reference list icon, I clicked on the phone and voicemail request item icon. And the catalog item, because it's a child record to the requested item, it's displayed in an inner tab. Again, that one has the phone and voice has the focus, and the details tab is grayed out. This is what they're talking about when they talk about the Omni tabs. Is you can go top to bottom, left and right, getting granular with this. So as you navigate back and forth between the tabs, selecting other reference field will continue to open child tabs for the corresponding record. So another example of the child reference field opening an inner tab. This is the user record. So you can kind of get the understanding of how this works. So moving on, the ITOM application brings us the Insights Explorer. Now, Insights Explorer replaces the former Metric Explorer with vastly improved searching capabilities, allowing you to find CIs and metrics that matter. Advanced Insights Explorer has a new user interface that provides ad hoc metrics, reporting across CIs, raw metric values, and anomaly score. This allows performance patterns that may foreshadow critical breakdowns. It also it provides ServiceNow a competitive advantage, excuse me, in exploiting the CI and business service relationships in the CMDB to interpret metric conditions in more meaningful ways. So with Discovery, There's a new deployment setup flow that automates discovery of network routers and switches and their subnets and IP ranges. It assigns location values to each router or switch and creates CI discovery schedules for each location. The quick start subnet discovery finds subnets from seed routers and categorizes discovered subnets in assigned versus unassigned subnet buckets. This significantly improves the ease of setup and getting discovery started and up and running. Other features that were part of this: improved bulk error handling. The integrated error handling framework enables discovery administrators to fix discovery issues with just a few clicks. There is a pane called recommended actions. It provides easy access to actions on selected errors, and actions on all provides a pane with a set of operations to mass fix discovery errors. Further on that, there's an integration with change management, and when a change request moves to certain states, change management will invoke automatically. It'll still also allow manual invocation, but it'll automatically invoke discovery on the associated CI and allow you to review the results right there. This provides current, accurate visibility into the configuration state of IT resources before, during, and after change implementation activities. Alert Intelligence has a new user experience. It's based on the new ServiceNow workspace. It leads the operator to the most important alert conditions and presents insights and actions via Integration Hub to speed resolution. Service availability and mean time to recovery are critical, and this equips the operator to be able to resolve the alert much more efficiently and effectively. Guided sequences are used to administer alert processes, including a new alert rule designer that simplifies alert escalation and alert profiles. This leverages the codeless approach of the platform flow designer and can trigger Integration Hub actions. It's pretty cool. So upgrades to the IT business management application bring enhancements to agile development and agile test. London marks a major milestone in the capability of agile and test functionality. The key to this is the out-of-the-box support of safe or essential scaled agile framework. This methodology can help a large enterprise maintain control of multiple Scrum teams that would otherwise be working, on their own agendas. An especially cool feature is a new big room planning interface that allows teams to get together and decide on the contents of each program increment. Other enhancements in London include the addition of the weighted short job first scheduling and seamless integrations that allow test management to be done alongside of sprint planning in the same dashboard. The investment portal, this gives you a comprehensive view of project and demand financials, deadlines, other important metrics in an intuitive user interface that makes project and demand management simply more efficient. You can create an investment board through a filter definition and share with other stakeholders. You can save time on new investments by creating, cloning, or modifying boards as needed. And filtering makes it easy to surface information on the fly and for reporting. In the project and portfolio management application, major functionality and significant usability enhancements have been made, making ITBM better for those that use PPM products. So PPM manages demand coming into IT, aligns project portfolio investments, and consolidates resource and project data into a single system. Being part of the ServiceNow portfolio enables a seamless and end-to-end process for initiating project requests and balancing the project portfolio. The resource allocation workbench provides resource managers with a comprehensive view of capacity, allocations, utilization, availability of resources. This workbench is used to make sure that your resources are being managed effectively. And finally, financial management. PPM can utilize financial management to define budgets and forecasting for portfolios of those projects. This provides the full power of financial management to the portfolio manager in defining and tracking project budgets. The three main components of financial management in ITBM, they are financial planning, financial modeling, and financial charging. So in the software asset management world, the SAM world, license change projections, this feature will automatically calculate the impact of software license costs for certain types of changes natively within the change management process, integrated right there. The Citrix Publisher Pack, tracking Citrix licensing, we know it's challenging. Many users see compliance for licensable products deployed in a Citrix farm far more challenging than actually the Citrix license compliance. When you use ServiceNow's Discovery product, you can detect Citrix license server and collect concurrent license usage for SAM professional plugin. Also, you'll be able to detect the Citrix Zen app instance and deployed applications, unique users and sessions for SAM. This publisher pack helps discover and reconcile use cases for compliance and cost optimization. With the Adobe Cloud License Management pack, the software publishers, they're increasingly going to taking their solutions to the cloud. And with the Adobe Subscription Management, it gives the software managers the ability to manage their Creative Cloud, the Document Cloud, and Management Cloud subscriptions, all from a single pane of glass, so they can control subscription spend and optimize costs. Lastly, the software lifecycle dates. As a part of the content library, software lifecycle content such as general availability and end of life dates, they'll be provided. This enables identification of risk for software installed throughout an environment, as well as it helps the ITBM, the Technology Portfolio Management application, to perform app rationalization. We've gotten through a large amount of updates. We just have a few more verticals to go, so let's jump into the security updates. In the SecOps application, a new user interface for security incident response has been created. This new, more modern interface will coexist with the existing interface. The new UI was developed for the security analyst to make responses easier through a more intuitive interface. It also includes a playbook view to help guide the analysts through the remediation process. A setup assistant was also created for both security incident response and vulnerability response. This assistant will help you get up and running by following easy step-by-step setup. Tasks that are included in this assistance, they cover plugin installation, configuring calculators, setting up user roles, etc. GRC. In GRC, vendor risk tiering has been added into vendor risk management. These new vendor tiering capabilities allow enterprises to categorize vendors into levels or tiers. Tiering scores, they're automatically generated based on the responses to questionnaires. And the tiering score ranges assigned to each tier, they are fully configurable. Integration with third-party security score providers, BitSight and Security Scorecard was also introduced. By integrating with third-party providers, enterprises can extend their knowledge of the risk posed by their vendors. So this additional data allows enterprises to fine-tune a vendor's tier, if necessary, to more accurately reflect the true risk posed by the vendor. The vendor tier dictates the type and frequency of risk assessments, and if changes occur to the security score, automated workflows can immediately send out a new vendor assessment. Human resources. So new with human resources and service delivery is the employee document management application. This application, it allows you to not only go like paperless, but electronically manage employee documentation from hire to retire. You can search, create, move, or manage legal holds on employee documents. Employee document management is basically a virtual file cabinet containing all employee documents in your company. It also has a dashboard that provides document administrators and managers an overview of the document repository. Virtual agent, I've touched on this before. Predefined topics for human resources have been added to the virtual agent. So just like the IT side of the house, end users can access the virtual agent in HR's own portal. Targeted content automation. So content automation, it schedules the content for specific times and conditions. Content automation, it allows you to create campaigns, which are personalized target email and portal communications they're delivered either during a fixed time or can be set up to be dynamic, dynamic windows. You can easily send targeted and scheduled company communications to your employees via email or the employee service center. And lastly, the knowledge blocks. Now, this is a pretty big, significant change here. The knowledge blocks, they are reusable pieces of content secured by user criteria that you can add to knowledge articles in a knowledge base. The user criteria controls which users can read or not read the block content in an article or search. And knowledge blocks enable enterprise organizations to simplify knowledge authoring for writers and knowledge consumption for readers. So an example, you have an HR organization that they want to provide a holiday calendar for employees in the company knowledge base. And this company is a larger company, and the employees in the company work from many different locations. The holiday dates vary. So with knowledge blocks, HR can create a single article with location-specific block content secured by user criteria. This approach helps to reduce the workload for both HR and employees. HR has a single article to manage and update. Employees have a single article to search for and read, and with user criteria ensuring that they only view the content that's relative to them. Customer service. So we have introduced major issue management. This feature, it enables you to effectively manage the communication and resolution process for issues that impact multiple customers. You can proactively identify impacted customers. You can provide information to these customers, and you can manage the resolution process all in one spot. So with major issue management, it introduces the concept of a major case, which contains the details about a particular case. Child cases can easily be created for a major case, with one child case created for each customer affected by the issue. These child cases contain the customer-specific information. Virtual agent, again, we have predefined topics for customer service management have been added into the virtual agent for CSM. Again, the significant knowledge management for CSM enhancements have been implemented, and so knowledge feedback management creates feedback tasks for knowledge article feedback. It assigns it to owners, it tracks SLAs, and it lets customers know when their updates are completed. Knowledge gap flagging allows cases on the new agent workspace to be flagged if knowledge articles don't exist to solve the case, and creates new knowledge feedback tasks. Knowledge blocks, as I previously talked about, they allow an article to be composed from reusable contact blocks with search and visibility control at the section level. And then user criteria diagnostics have been added to simplify the troubleshooting of user criteria for knowledge access control. Additionally, the knowledge management dashboard, it tracks content usage, governance, and quality metrics. Some of the user experience enhancements include, but are not limited to, custom URLs. Big thing with CSM. These will allow customers to have a custom URL for their instance name. Guided setup has been added to customer service management, field service management, and communities, which will allow for better configuration through the use of standard configuration tasks. Agent workspace, again, limited availability. Previously talked briefly about the new agent workspace, but just because IT gets cool new functionality does not mean that it cannot be shared with other verticals. So CSM lists or work queues, they've also been added to the workspace. And now a CSM agent will be able to more effectively work their tickets just like an IT agent can. Again, remember, this is on a limited base availability for London. Some other updates for customer service management to note. Solution tracking, it captures resolutions provided for cases in order to analyze issues. Follow the Sun enables better support for 24/7 service organizations. Contact local time allows tracking of a local time for the contact on the case form. Social media integration with Sprinkler allows cases to be cases in ServiceNow to be created from Sprinkler posts and reply back from ServiceNow via Sprinkler. And last, copying problem updates to case work notes when problem changes has a change of state. Performance analytics. Finally, let's take a look at some of the updates that London has brought to PA. We have dependency assessment. This allows administrators to make changes with confidence because they can visually see which dashboards or objects will be affected. The new detailed scorecard, it provides a single console where customers can assess current performance, set goals, predict future performance, compare results against industry benchmarks, and Insights automatically analyzes your results and sends relevant or noteworthy insights like new highs, lows, abnormal scores, updated forecasts, etc. It sends those directly to your dashboards so you can focus on your performance. So finally, I'd like to take a few moments to discuss best practices surrounding updating your instance to the London version. So ServiceNow has created 5 best practice stages to ensure upgrades are done efficiently and more important, correctly. Stage 1, use the project management practices. Set project phases and timelines. Allocate resources to the project. You have a project manager, you have a ServiceNow system admin, you have the ServiceNow developer, you have test plan managers or admins, you have testers, and possibly even GRC staff. Communications, big deal. Communicate with not only the stakeholders, but communicate to the end users about the changes that are going to come down to them. Stage 2, follow the documented upgrade process. Read the release notes and plan your upgrade accordingly. Prepare for the development instance upgrade. Verify your upgrade configurations. Schedule the development instance upgrade in high. You're going to then upgrade and validate the development instance. If applicable, upgrade and validate your other sub-prod instances, such as a test or a UAT or a training instance. Prepare to upgrade the production instance, and then finally upgrade the production instance. For stage 3, review the skipped changes. Objects are skipped because they've been modified in one of 2 ways. You explicitly modified the record, or you implicitly modified the record. In either scenario, use the skipped changes to review related list on the upgrade history record to assist you. Big thing for me, stage 4, create and maintain your test plans. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important stages. You only need to test what you've previously deployed. Create test plans that are efficient, but create test plans as you configure and customize your applications. ServiceNow offers 2 solutions to help you with your testing. Both are provided at no additional cost, so that's a bonus there. Stage 5, last stage, streamline future upgrades. Assess and understand the true cost of customizations. The time involved is more than just making a customization, but the maintenance involved every time your instance is upgraded. Observe technical best practices while developing, and last but certainly not least, conduct a configuration review. So basically, at the end of the day, use the proven upgrade process to avoid issues, review skip changes, and revert customizations if necessary. Create test plans in order to have successful implementations. And finally, limit customizing the platform to reduce implementation, testing, and upgrade costs. So that's it. That's all I have for y'all today. I want to thank you for attending the webinar. Let's see if we have any questions that have come in. Anna?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ben, for this detailed webinar. There are a few questions that we'll get to in a moment. As a reminder to our listeners, please use the questions section to ask any questions if you have them about today's presentation. So Ben, let's move on to that few questions that we have as of right now. The first one is there an additional cost for this new features?
I'm going to give you the answer, it depends. And I hate that answer, but it depends. Some, such as flows, they're a platform feature, and others might require an additional license. You just need to reach out to your sales rep on that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben. We just received a question in our chat box about the slide deck and if it would be shared with audience. So yes, I will actually address this question myself. We will definitely send you a recording to this webinar, and I can certainly go ahead and ask Ben to follow up with you on an individual basis and send you a PDF of this slide deck for your reference. So if you need that PDF, please leave a message in the chat box for me, and I'll pass this over to Ben after our presentation. Let's move on to some other questions that we have. We still have a couple of minutes within this webinar. So Ben, another question we have here. What does limited release mean? How can I get that feature?
Okay, limited release features, they're restricted to only 20 customers per industry. You can make a request to be added to the limited release group within ServiceNow. So I would contact your support about that. But remember, 20 customers per industry.
All right, thank you very much. Here is another one we have. Should we migrate all our workflows to flows? Are workflows going away?
Our workflows going? Short answer is no. Workflows, at least in the immediate future, they're not going away. Just remember, flows are ServiceNow's solution for low code or no code integrations. It's going to be invested in heavily as the functionality continues to be built out. But additionally, workflows can still be used in conjunction with flows. It just depends on the requirement on which one to use and when, where it makes sense for you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ben. All right, guys. The recording of today's webinar will be available on our website, www.alcortech.com. We will also send you a link to this recording via email tomorrow. And if you left a message for me in the chat box for the slide deck, I will also follow up with you on an individual basis, and myself and Ben will share with you that presentation deck. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining our webinar, and we will see you at our next webinar. Thanks.